Hi, this is Mimi from Mimi's Paper Crafting. Welcome or welcome back to my channel, and welcome to week 2 of my June Creative Daily Journal. I had to really think there. How sad is that? I just went through everything. I knew it was week 2, but for a second I doubted myself. It's all right. It is, once again, super freaking early, and I've had a migraine for 2 days, but I have to get this done. And I have to record a bunch of stuff today because we are leaving tomorrow for our little night away. All right, so I need to get some stuff done. Okay, so this was a Sunday. I had to think. It was a Sunday, and this was the night before the dumpster was being delivered so we could start tearing down my dad's old shed. Okay, that's what this was. Not that it matters. I didn't really do anything on this day. I said I made another loaf of milk bread. You guys, if you've never made milk bread, do me a favor and make yourself some milk bread. But only for yourself. Don't share it with anybody, because literally that's all anybody will ask for. It is the best bread, if I can remember. And if I don't and you're interested, let me know down below if I forget, because I have a migraine. Okay. And I have to edit this and get this up for today's Monday for midnight. So I probably will forget, because like I said, I have a migraine. To post the link of the recipe I've been using. It takes a while. Let's see, I did the math the other day, and it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes or 25 minutes it takes to make this bread, between the rising time, the mixing time. Actually longer than that. 2 hours and 40 minutes it takes. But it's worth it. However, it's the only thing my family wants now. So I've made like so many loaves of milk bread. Anyway, and then I made chicken salad for my dad and the boyfriend, because I didn't have anything for my boyfriend to take. I had made chicken breasts the night before that I had taken out and had to use them for something. I didn't make dinner. Why didn't I make dinner? This was a Sunday. Why didn't I make dinner? I don't remember. It doesn't say. But I did have the boyfriend buy me everything to make birria. Is that how you say it? I'm not sure. Tacos in the crock pot the next day for dinner. And he grabbed me an ankle brace. And I need the ankle brace for our trip, because it's going to be a lot of walking. So this is the ankle brace. Well, the cheaper version of the ankle brace I used back when I walked a lot for work. The more expensive version has plastic pieces or metal. They might be metal, or I don't know what they are, on the inside of the ankle to keep your ankle sturdy. This one doesn't have it, but it's the cheaper version. Which reminds me, I have to give my boyfriend the money for it. I forgot. All right, this was Monday, and this was tear down the shed day. So I'm gonna tell you how this went as I'm putting all this stuff in. So, first thing, I moved all our shed is next to stepping stones that have all of the garbage cans on it. For like weeds and stuff like that, those kind of garbage cans. We have those lift garbage cans for our regular garbage, but those are all next to the shed. So I had to move all of that stuff. And as I'm moving all of that stuff, the boyfriend emptied the last few things that we hadn't emptied from the shed, which was the tiller and the trailer for the tractor. We have a trailer that can hook up to the tractor that we can pull things with the tractor. Okay, so it was the last really thing. And the next thing I know, I look up and he had just gently tore the doors off the shed. That is how rotten they were, you guys. It fell apart. Like those things were taped up there. That's how bad it was. Okay. And after he did that, the left side basically came crumbling down. He was trying to get the plywood off of the sides, off of the frame. Yeah. Now the shed had other ideas, you guys. The shed said, no. That's what the shed said. No, because it came crumbling down. And what do I mean about that? I mean, okay, oh, here, there's a picture. There's a picture. So, after the front came off, this is what the shed looked like. So now you see there's a white fence for our one neighbor right here and a wooden fence right here for our other neighbor. Well, also we had a ducky come visit. Well, once that left side of the shed crumbled, the roof came falling down. And once the roof came falling down, it started to tip towards the neighbor's fence. So the boyfriend lets go of the roof and runs over to hold up the freaking shed. So he's holding up the shed. Okay? He is right here on this side holding up the shed. Well, then he's like, take my place. So now I'm holding up a 1,000-pound wooden rotten monstrosity of a shed. And he's trying to figure out what we can do to get this roof down without collapsing into one of the fences. Yeah. Yeah. So eventually we're sitting there and we have no idea what to do. And I'm holding up the roof now. Now I'm holding up the roof. I'm holding up the roof because every time he touched the roof to kind of get the roof off, it would push the shed into the white fence and into me. So I finally was like, you gotta stop that. So we're sitting there and then he took my place again and I'm holding up the roof because every time the roof would lower down, it would push the shed to the side. And finally, I'm like, Dad, you need to go get the tractor and we need to tie a rope to this shed and to your tractor so we keep the shed up. So that's what we did. Okay. My dad brought the tractor out back. The boyfriend used a hammer and hammered a hole into the wall by the 2x4 that was closest to the shed. And held it up that way. And by the time that was held up, let me tell you, by the time that was done, I was holding up that roof and my arms are I'm shaking and I'm like, I can't hold this much longer. And thankfully, my dad's over there like tying a knot and I'm like, I'm going to kill somebody right now. Finally, he tied the knot. He pulled the tractor forward. We got it sturdy and freaking Hercules is what I'm now referring to my boyfriend, just takes the roof. I'm not even exaggerating, and I wish I had this on video. Takes the roof and goes whomp and rips it right off the frame. And when he did that, it folded in half like a piece of freaking cardboard and just collapsed onto the, here it is, collapsed. That's the roof and two sides of the shed on top of the base there. And then we didn't even get to fill the dumpster because you know when the dumpster arrived? 5 o'clock at night the dumpster arrived. And by then I was like, I'm out. I don't even care. We'll fill it tomorrow. Okay. As you can see, I went to Yummy Bowl. Yummy Bowl was my reward. Okay. We got rewarded for all of our hard work. We rewarded ourselves with Yummy Bowl, and we needed it. You should have seen us eating like a freaking pack of wild animals. Okay, so it was raining when we got up in the morning. Isn't that lovely? It was raining, and of course, you know what that means. That we weren't going out there first thing in the morning to start filling the dumpster. So we had to wait, and I had been up early. And finally at like 9:30, it had stopped raining, and I was like, all right, I'm going out. I don't care what you do, but I'm going out to fill this dumpster. I don't want to be sitting here all day. So we went out and started filling the dumpster, and you guys, oh, it was 10 a.m. So the boyfriend broke down the big pieces of the shed as I started carrying everything else out to the shed. This is what it looked like when we were done. So I started carrying everything else. 2 hours later. 2 hours later. Yep. And the shed was completely cleaned up. Everything from the shed was gone. Oh, I forgot to put, I'm going to put this on here too. My chopsticks. My paper for my chopsticks. Everything was cleaned up from the shed, which was great. Everything was cleaned up. Everything we wanted to get rid of from the shed, besides like the actual wooden shed, like we found a bunch of junk to get rid of. I told my dad if he hasn't used it to get rid of it. So we got rid of a lot of stuff from inside the shed. Everything from the garage we wanted to get rid of was gone. Everything from the workshop, my poor boyfriend made like 15 trips from the basement with all of the junk he wanted to get rid of. All the junk he wanted to get rid of from the workshop. And there was a lot. You should see. I wish I would have taken before and after pictures because it's so clean. So we filled. And then there was some stuff from the basement that I wasn't able to get rid of all of it. I was able to get rid of a bunch of it, just not all of it. And the other stuff that I wasn't able to get rid of, I can get rid of in the regular garbage. We filled a 10-yard dumpster, filled to the top in 2 hours. 2 hours, you guys. And I'm so mad because I wish I would have called them to have them pick it up, empty it, and bring it back so we could fill it more. But I didn't because you know what? I was like, we don't really have all that much left to get rid of. We really didn't have all that much left to get rid of. And like I said, a lot of it's cardboard that I can get out slowly in regular garbage. And we never got to get rid of the water cooler that's broken that we have, that we used to use. We had a 5-gallon, a Primo water cooler, and it's broken. But I can just put that out once again in regular garbage. That's not a big deal. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that out in regular garbage. And I said, in 2 hours, are you ready, you guys? I walked 6,000 steps in those 2 hours, and I walked 10,000 steps by 3 p.m. So we both showered because we were disgusting. The day before it was humid. This day it was just hot. And we were starving. For dinner we ordered pizza, but for lunch we were just like, we need food, and we ended up going to Yummy Bowl. And when I tell you that if you go to Yummy Bowl and you get a bowl, you can also, if you would want to, you can go up again. You add a few more dollars to that bowl and you can make it a buffet. You can go up as many times as you want. We were both tempted. We were both starving. Oh, and then he was so mad because our trip, we were supposed to leave today for our little getaway, but it's a 90% chance of rain all day where we were going. So he was pissed. We ended up just changing it. He canceled the reservation and made a new one for tomorrow. I was like, I don't care if it rains, but he cares if it rains. So we're going tomorrow instead. That was me after moving everything into the shed. I was so tired. All right. So on this day, we went to the mall looking for shorts for the boyfriend for tomorrow. Now, can he find a pair of shorts that he wants? This is the thing. He's like, he just doesn't want to wear a belt. And I don't blame him. But he also wants cargo shorts so he has pockets. Now, do you think you can find that anywhere? elastic drawstring waist cargo shorts. Nope. Couldn't find them anywhere. We also had to stop at Redner's because my son, I'm like, we're going to the store. Do you need anything? He's like, what store are you going to? I said, we're going to the mall. He's like, oh, no. I was like, well, what do you want? He's like, I was hoping that you could stop and get me some Goods party mix. He was very specific. He wanted Goods party mix. So I checked online and they had it at Redner's. So we just stopped at Redner's, which is on the way to the mall. So we stopped at Redner's on the way to the mall and grabbed him 2 bags of Goods party mix. He went hiking. He's been hiking every Wednesday with his 2 friends. They go hiking every Wednesday. Oh, and then we went to Chick-fil-A. We stopped at Chick-fil-A because there's a Chick-fil-A in the mall. Guys, I paid $27 for 4 sandwiches and a small fry. What the hell? What in the ever-loving hell? I was like, whatever. I got 2 books. Target had their books. It's over now. Sorry. Buy one, get one 50% off. So I got Never Been Shipped by Alicia Thompson and Lights Out. Yep. I went there. I got Lights Out. If you don't know what Lights Out is, I don't remember who it's written by, but it has some insane trigger warnings. All right. So that's what I got. All right. What day was this? This was Thursday. So this was the day they were supposed to come pick up the dumpster. Yep, they were supposed to come up pick up the dumpster this day. I did go through my stuff and grab stuff to decorate pages with, by the way. That's what all this stuff is. Before I started the video, I just went through. They never showed up. And then everyone was like, are you going to get charged an extra day? So I texted them to find out if I'd be charged an extra day. They didn't answer. They answered the next day, by the way. But they didn't answer on the day I texted them. They were probably, by the time I texted, they were already gone for the day. It was never mentioned, though, that they would be late, that they don't guarantee when they're going to come pick it up. That was never mentioned. It was also never mentioned that if you went over the fill line, it was an extra $150. We did not go over the fill line because we saw the fill line and we're like, guess we can't go over the fill line. The only thing she told me was to not have anything jagged sticking out of the dumpster when I ordered the dumpster, that they have to put a tarp over it. That was the only thing she told me. Oh, also, was it here? Oh, yeah, I signed up for a month of KU just so I have books to read tomorrow for our trip. So I did that. Also, guys, I discovered something. My hair is straight as a pin. Has been my whole entire life. Not nary a wave or a curl in my hair. Pin straight. My hair doesn't even hold a curl. Pin straight my hair is. It's starting to get wavy. It's weird. It's really weird. I don't understand what's going on, but my hair's starting to get wavy. So this was Friday. Let me circle what day it was on this thing. This was Friday. Friday. If I could find a pen. Yep, this was Friday. Because this is when it was Friday the 13th. They came to finally pick up the dumpster. So that is gone. It's gone. I said, you know what? This wasn't, they were well priced. Their dumpsters were well priced. It's Redbox. They're everywhere. They're all over the country. Their dumpsters are very well priced. We even had money off for an online coupon. They were not upfront about everything, which is the only unfortunate thing that I did not appreciate. But honestly, the price, they dropped it off. Everybody was very kind and polite. Like I said, they weren't super upfront. Other than that, I would recommend them all the time and ask more questions. I've never ordered a dumpster before. I don't know what questions to ask. Anyway, moving on. I made another loaf of milk bread. Put a pot of chili in the crock pot. You don't even want to know. Something happened to the chili. It was the it was disgusting. I had to end up dumping the entire pot of chili. I don't know what happened. I worked on my embroidered sweatshirt for a little bit on this day. I've been trying to do at least one a day. I had to print out more. And if you're curious to know, let's see, I have it right here next to me. Right here. This is the stabilizer, wash away stabilizer I've been using. It's printable. So it's on paper, the paper back, and it has the stabilizer on the front, and you can put it through your inkjet printer and print on it. So that's what I do. I use Canva and make a page and print it out. All right, and then this was Saturday. I have private journaling here, so all we're doing is putting in my dad, since it was the day before Father's Day and my kid wasn't home, I told my dad he could, whatever he wanted, we would get, and he chose Red Lobster. So that is what we got to eat Saturday. And I literally read 4 books, you guys. Like, I don't even know how that happens, but I read 4 books. Because I have KU again, so I'm not wasting my subscription. I will, oh, and this one was actually from the library. This was an audiobook. But I'm not wasting my subscription. I am reading as much as I can, because I won't now renew it for who knows how long. I try to go a few months in between renewing my KU. Just because, I mean, yeah, it's only $11.99 a month, but also you're not getting a ton of books released that I'm interested in reading constantly. So it's good for me because that means I can like stock up the books that I want to read. So then the next time I get it, I have a list of books I want to read. I put them all, just so you know, just in case this is something you would be interested in. Anytime I see a book on YouTube or TikTok that's KU that I'm interested in and I don't have a KU subscription, I add it to a list on Amazon called Future KU Books. And that, you guys, is how I remember, or else I don't remember a single freaking book. And that is it. That was our week. The beginning of the week was long as hell. It was super long, super annoying. It was a lot of work, but it's done. Now, though, since we're not here really this week to build a base, because my dad's original shed is 8x8 and the new shed he bought is 10x8. So we have to expand the base that's already there to fit the new shed. And so until we do that, which will be probably next week, then we can build the new shed. So until then, every item from the shed is on our back porch or in our yard. The trailer's just sitting in our yard under a tree. It's going to be a long, and then my dad did end up giving us money for doing this for him, and I told him that was unnecessary. I'm his daughter. He doesn't ever have to pay me money, but he gave us money, and he gave us the amount of money he would have paid somebody to come tear it down. So he gave us each $400, which I said was way too much. So I'm probably going to end up giving him most of it back, because I'm not okay with that. I'm his daughter. I'm not okay with that. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing all about the shed. I keep telling everybody, we almost died, but we got it done. Seriously though, yeah, it was bad. That thing was tumbling down. The neighbor says to me, you know, you should have taken the roof down first. And I said, you know, that was our plan. But we didn't expect the one side to come tumbling down. So, what are you gonna do? Let me know down below. Do you have any major projects like that planned for the summer? And if you do, are you going to be smart enough to hire somebody and not do it yourself? Please tell me you are, because I really wish we would have went that route. Anyway, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next crafty video. Have a great rest of your day.